So, reaction. Let's see what everyone thinks. So yeah, one of the things which I like about this is a lot of this deals with things that are you have the one case which you do sort of end with him sort of because the sort of the sniper was sort of doing this thing and it was really fun. Again, I can't talk about a lot of this because a lot of this is a lot more spoily. But a lot of it is dealing with what the last book sort of implied, and because that's the last book, I'm gonna leave that in this section. Sort of William Moriarty is alive. Which is fun, it's interesting. Because obviously there's the thing where it's like Moriarty dies, it's in the BBC version. There's a bunch of stuff in like the Elements version, but that's more like there's a subsect of it. Um, and that is in the sort of Robbie Downey Jr. version, where he dies, or she dies if it's the Elements version. Let's get into the more fun stuff I want to say. So the spoiler stuff, which is really fun, is one they deal with definitely because the heavy stuff was in the last one. It sort of does the sort of fun twist, and then reveals about Moriarty being alive. You also deal with, again, most of the Moriarty side with Sherlock with them. You don't see some of the others. And I do like the fact that it's a card that sort of like, it's like, it's like, oh, I just need to give you something. And it's the King, I think King of Hearts. Let me just find the page. Yeah. Oh no, Jack of Hearts, which I like. I also, the more fun part is obviously one of the things you have is you have three Moriartys. The two twins that were sort of the adopted sort of set of siblings, but wasn't really part of the Moriarty. And then, but obviously there's a lie. I'm not talking about that. And then one of the older brothers who was part of the family. None of that's important. It's just so you know who's who. But the older brother, because he lived with these sort of like nobles who were like, oh, we're meant to be better, but weren't, sort of saw this darkness and real intrigue of it. And you sort of like go back and in a sort of way respectively look about what he thought of the situation. Because a lot of the situation is through like Moriarty's eyes, like the I think older of the adopted brothers' eyes, which is like he's the main focus. He is the main Moriarty when that gets put forward, which I think is really interesting. Also, there is a whole thing earlier about someone not being able to take the amount of stuff that he's done that they talk about. They even show it in the anime, I think. But I do like him as well because it's sort of this interesting way of how to view the world. And at some point, after the situation with Moriarty, he has locked himself in the tower. And if you look at where this sort of thing begins, which is like pretty early in the book, you see there are at least like 10 to 20 lines of five. So he has been there for like 20 to 30 days self isolated, which is, it will turn most people insane. I also love that they do a little segment of like, it's like, oh, John, I'm back. Hi. They also have a cute moment of like, yeah, we kept the office the exact same, and it's really fun. Obviously, this is nearly over because 17, 18, 19, only three left. Let's get into it actually. But yeah, it's really fun. Definitely some of the earlier bits where some of the characters talking about certain things, being like, this is what is happening. It's fun and it brings it forward to these sort of like again, this is after the main thing with like the anime, the ending of where the anime was, and sort of like bringing people together and having that moment. And it is fun and really interesting. But yeah, but yeah, I'm actually season 7. This is here. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you like this video, and good night.